Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Kingdom, Season 1, Episode 1. Is there a title for this?
You're the one looking at the Wikipedia page. Let me go and open
there's no
Netflix and have a
titles on
look.
Wikipedia or IMDb.
No, it's actually just called episode one.
Okay, hence my confusion. That's fine. Okay, it's episode 1. So we will start spoiler free actually, because this is an episode 1, as we do with episode 1s. We'll give you a warning in the middle before we get any spoilers. And yeah, we'll go from here. So this is a Korean Netflix original. This is a zombie drama. It's a period piece,
Yep.
and it's an interesting mix. You don't think of feudal Asia, and you don't think of zombies as being things that go together. So it's got a unique premise in that sense.
Mm.
It looks pretty slick. It's 6 episodes. It's already been renewed for season 2. It got ordered as 2 straight seasons. Season 1 is 6 episodes. So this is one of 6, and yeah, so the basic premise of this episode and the show, at least so far, is that the king has been absent. No one's seen the emperor. He's out of public
Yeah.
sight, and even his own family have not seen him in quite some time. And the crown prince, who's kind of our main character, is looking into this, but there's a lot of corruption in the system, and you've got the head of the Cho clan, who are kind of like basically have become the Imperial Guard, who are kind of
Yeah.
controlling everything. They're very savage, very vicious, very strict, killing anyone who disagrees with them, that kind of thing. And very quickly, either the Crown Prince has committed treason, or he's been accused, at least framed for committing treason, and he's very quickly on the run. But he's also trying to find out what happened to his father, so he's seeking out the doctor that was treating him, and he's off to find that. Of course, there's implications that what's actually wrong with the father, and I don't think this is much of a spoiler, given I just told you it's a zombie show, that he actually had a zombie virus of some kind.
Yeah.
And let's just say, by the end of the first episode, we see how that might spread, to some extent. So that's the gist of it. That's the gist of it so far. That's your premise. Did you enjoy episode 1 of Kingdom, Connor?
Yes and no.
Yes and
I
no.
I wasn't really feeling the politics side of it that much yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the characters kind of just there. Um, it looks great though, and the moments that we do get with the zombies, so it's quite light in this first episode, but the moments that are there are quite good.
It does look very good. There's I mean, before I get to the zombie stuff, just the visuals. There's a lot of great tracking shots going over the
Mm.
ground. When someone's running, and it'll be following the path first, then it'll go up, and then the feet will be there, and it makes good use of the sort of the temple, and the main
Yeah.
building. There's a lot of symmetry. There's a lot of nice images coming from that.
Yeah, camera work is great throughout.
It looks like a movie. It actually looks very impressive. So that's great. So it looks very slick. I do think I kind of agree in a sense, although I don't think it was too bad either, the politics stuff. At least to the point where I still feel like that the full hour went in relatively quickly. Like,
Yeah, it's not that I thought it was bad. I'm not really into it.
yeah, that's fair. It is giving us some proper villains to dislike though, because Cho and his son, who's kind of his lead enforcer, are very hateable
Yeah,
very quickly.
yeah. They keep talking about the queen. From what I got, I think the queen might be one of the Cho family,
Okay.
and that's why they've been elevated to such power.
Yeah, yeah. The queen is much younger than the king, uh, younger than the crown prince. Even at one point, he's kind of complaining that she's barely of age and she's
Yeah,
now
but how
classed
is
as
he
his
supposed
mother.
to? Yeah, how is he supposed to call her mother?
Yeah, so so there's a lot of dynamics going on there. It feels like though this episode, kind of by its nature, has to be mostly set up before the main kind of zombie stuff really starts to hit.
Yeah, yeah,
So, as per usual with episode 1, so there's not usually a ton to spoil because it is just the premise and not much more. Uh,
yeah. I don't think there is really anything in here.
no, there's
That
one. There's one outright
Oh,
spoiler.
okay, okay, yeah,
There's one outright spoiler that's a sort of reveal towards the end of the episode. But
yeah, okay, sure, that one.
other than that, like it's pretty much just setting up the premise. It's setting up how bad the villains are. It's kind of establishing what the hierarchy is right now, and just what the general feeling is. And I think what's interesting is that the Cho clan, not just the leaders, but just the clan in general, is giving me a lot of fodder that I'm going to enjoy seeing killed. Like I'm like, When the zombies
Can't disagree with this.
make their way to them, I'm going to be kind of rooting for the zombies, and that could be very entertaining.
Be different to normal, won't it?
Yeah, there's a couple of beheadings actually that look quite good. Some nice red head rolling, blood splatter. It looks like it's going to handle the violence very well.
It does. It's not overly gratuitous with it though either, because there are definitely moments where they could really show some gore, and they don't. They just kind of restrain it, but they don't shy away from other moments either. It feels very natural.
Yeah, it's kind of a bit of both. So I think I'll give a spoiler warning now. So full spoilers for the episode from here on out. And then I want to do this just now because I want to talk about kind of, because I think the main meat to talk about, no pun intended, is kind of where it goes in the second half. Because the Crown Prince eventually, with his like helper dude, he's like, "Hey, I want you to steal the medical records. You know, basically the patient sheet." For my dad, and he actually distracts the guard so that his buddies get a chance to do it. He's very reluctant. He's been promised some food from the dessert table.
Beef pancakes, I believe.
Beef pancakes, yes. And he's very disappointed when he realizes there's no beef pancakes to be had. But he gets that, and there's like nothing after the first couple of pages was just that, oh, this fever's way too high to be anything we know that what it is, and there's nothing after that. He's probably not going to make it. Blank pages, blank pages, blank pages, and he's like, we need to find a doctor. So they head off, try to find the doctor. They find out where he lives, which is kind of this other main little village that we're going to spend some time in. And his story kind of ends on the way to this village, even though this is a longer journey. He's not used to the travel. And he kind of confesses to his servant that he did actually kind of intentionally commit treason.
Yeah.
He did actually, because there's a scene before this where Cho is with like a council, and he's saying that, oh hey, we've found this letter, we've been all the scholars, we've been torturing them, none of them have confessed to anything, but we found this letter, we're pretty sure that the Crown Prince is guilty of treason. And it really feels like they're just framing him because they want to like take away his right to the throne.
Pretty much. I think that council scene's one of those scenes that I was like, not feeling as much with the politics side of it.
Yeah, that's fair. But I was really on the side of, no, they're framing him. He doesn't even know what's going on here. And then he's like, nah, I did actually write this letter because, my father and his new legitimate child from his new young wife are kind of awful, and the Cho clan are awful. So even though he's technically committing treason, you're still kind of on his side because you assume that he has more noble aspirations as to how to lead the country.
There's a point where they outright accuse him of, oh, why do you care if your dad's alive or not? You were just going to kill him anyway. You were just going to let him die so that you could kind of take his place.
Yeah. But we see how awful these people treat everyone, so it's kind of like, okay, so technically he might have been hoping that his dad would die, but honestly, he can't be worse.
You'd think.
He can't. I mean, the Cho clan, as we see them, are just like the son at one point just turns around and slits a guy's throat just because he feels like it.
He does do that.
That is literally a scene in this episode.
Just because we haven't seen him be awful yet doesn't mean he's not atrocious.
Well, he could be, but I'm saying at worst he's equal. He can't be worse.
Okay. I'm going to wait and see, but I'll agree for now.
He'd have to get pretty heinous. We need to root for someone.
Yeah, the zombies. We've already established that.
If not him, we've got the nurse character, who I think is S.C.O. Bai. She's in the town where the doctor's going back to, where our main Crown Prince is heading towards the end. And we see that she's treating all the sick people that are there. They're just kind of sick. She's feeding them, and there's this sort of roguish character. This roguish who's kind of complaining the food kind of sucks. And there's this sort of shock scene because the opening scene of the episode is when the doctor was at the palace, the temple, and his servant gets mauled by the by the emperor. And it's just like a sort of tease scene. It's like, oh, something's wrong with the emperor. He's killing people.
Pretty sure it's a king, not an emperor.
Emperor.
Well, I mean, kingdom would no. Kingdom would imply king. Empire would have an emperor.
Sure, that's solid logic.
Yeah, I mean, given the name of the show, I'm gonna go out on a limb and go with king.
But anyway, well, I forgot my point now. Where was I?
You said emperor like 3 times. So you're talking about him. Oh, the guy got mauled.
Yes, and the body's been brought back to the village, and they see this, and they're like, "Oh dear, what's happened to him?" And we know he's been mauled by a zombie. It's fine. Like, we understand what's happening. But the roguish guy claims that he's killed a deer later on, and he's used that to make a stew to feed everyone, and everyone's happy because the food's much better. And then, but when the nurse goes up to actually check the stew, she finds a finger in it, and it's very clear that he's taken this corpse and turned it into the dinner.
Yeah, and she goes outside, and it's just this shot of everyone chewing on this meat, ripping it off the bones,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like, oh, lovely.
It's kind of disgusting because it's very like up close, and you hear the sound effects are all ramped up just a little bit too loud.
Yeah,
You know.
it's well done.
But she goes and confronts him, and of course, all I'm thinking is, wait a minute, this guy was attacked by a zombie, and they're eating his meat. I feel like we just made a zombie army.
And lo and behold, just a few minutes later.
Yes, and luckily he didn't eat any of it himself as of yet, seemingly, because he's okay.
No, all that talk about food, we need it, we're starving. He wasn't, and he gave a speech to the nurse about how, this is how you survive. It's you got to throw away those morals and do what you've got to do, but not enough for him to eat it himself, it seems.
But so the zombies wake up, they kill one of the other nurses. Kind of nice shot because she's kind of like, she's dealing with a man who looks like he's having a seizure, right? He's really becoming a zombie, but he's having a seizure, and she's trying to help him. And then there's a shot over her shoulder where you just see someone like sort of like get up very zombie like behind her. Like, this girl sits up, and then we end up with this ridiculous shot of like just a mountain of zombies kind of surrounding her, just chewing on her.
Looks good.
Yeah, and that was the final little scare shot where the zombie runs up to the door and it's like the eye through the
whatever. Who
the
cares?
crack. That's a nice enough final shot.
It was very standard though compared to the rest of it.
Yeah, and our main nurse and the rogue guy, they're kind of like just discovering that something might be wrong because they've been arguing in the bar apparently till nightfall because it's nighttime now.
Yeah,
they've been in there for a while. She's just not happy that her friend was killed and then someone else served them up as dinner. But karma's going to come around because
now there's a zombie army.
There was a zombie army. So I mean that's pretty much the first episode.
Yeah, and this is the place where the Crown Prince was headed to, right? This
is exactly where he's heading to. Yeah,
that's what I thought. So he's going to run headlong into a zombie army.
I wonder if he ends up using the zombies tactically. Like he knows he can't beat the Cho clan. Yeah, but does he use them tactically to lure everyone else, the other army, into the?
Now, if he just leads that back to the palace and goes, right, run wild, essentially, then he's worse.
Sure.
So I'm just saying, you said, oh, is there a way that he can be worse? That's the way.
Nah, that's equal. That's not worse.
I don't know. Willingly unleashing a horde of zombies on not just your enemies, but the innocent people in the area too. That's worse.
He's not going to do that. It's fine.
We'll see.
No. He'll lure them to the zombies, or he'll make sure all the good people evacuate first because it's time of war or something. I don't know.
Maybe we'll see. Obviously, Cho sent some riders after him, so they're on his trail.
Yeah, they're either dead or they're going to see zombies and come back and be, hey, there's something going on.
Yeah, exactly. One or the other.
Something weird is happening. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. So, I mean, I liked it well enough. Like, I think the zombie stuff's pretty good. It looks really slick. Like, I like the visuals quite a bit.
Yeah, visually great. Like I said, I wasn't as excited by the politics stuff, but the zombie stuff was great, and it seems like, okay, we're going to get straight into that right now.
Yeah, at least half of it. I feel like now it'll probably cut between the stuff back at the palace with, the Cho guy
I still expect to get some of that, and I don't hate it enough to be like, oh, I don't want to watch it because of that. But I'm excited to get more of the zombie side of things now.
Yeah. Are we down for episode 2? Is that what we're saying?
I think so. I don't see any reason why not.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what I think it helps that this is 6 episodes because I'm looking at this going, this feels like a 6 episode thing. Like, I don't know if I'd be excited for 10 episodes of this, but 6 is kind of nice.
I agree.
Nice.
I think you're right.
So no, that's good. So try it out. It's obviously a Netflix original. You can try it whenever you like, as long as you have Netflix. And obviously make sure you watch it in Korean with English subtitles. Unless you speak Korean, of course, in which case, by all means, turn the subtitles off.
Did yours default to Korean audio this time?
It actually did. It defaulted to the original language.
Because obviously mine always is, but I know you have some problems with it sometimes.
Yeah, I actually paused it and checked immediately, assuming it wouldn't, and then I was like, oh, it is.
Ah, Netflix finally learning.
Maybe. Just you watch. The next foreign thing I watch is probably going to be back
Awful.
to English dub.
Yeah.
Bastards. Anyway, that is that's Kingdom episode 1. So if you have tried it, let us know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel, you can do that over at patreon.com/mailfuzztv, and you can support us over there. If you're listening to this in the audio feed, the Netflix audio feed, of course, there's other audio feeds as well, with other TV reviews, movie reviews, and all that kind of stuff. Go to Patreon, there's a nice list of all the audio feeds we have, and you can check out what else we do. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?